articulate aberration through a parasitic linguistic implantation, a predatory syllabic occupation inside cognitive damnation. My verbalization destabilizes in a recursive contamination, like regulations automated by an external vocal domination. There's a deviation of my phonation I can't trace on my own foundation, as if consonants conspire in deliberate motivation. Invasion and iterate sentences that feel pre-written in my mental occupation, while my tongue performs functions without consent or confirmation. I'm not speaking, I'm being spoken through semantic automation, a hollow decoration echoing from something beyond interpretation. And every syllable rhymes like a foreign psychological vibration, wearing my voice like a mask over internal devastation. The devil on my tongue, he's camped out occupation, a speaking entity inside my verbal articulation. It moves through my mouth like enforced translation, turning language into controlled psychological invasion. I don't speak anymore, I undergo vocal manifestation of something wearing my identity as linguistic validation. And I wonder if I ever had internal narration, or if I was always just the echo of possession. The devil on my tongue, he's camped out occupation, a speaking entity inside my verbal articulation. It moves through my mouth like enforced translation, turning language into controlled psychological invasion. I don't speak anymore, I undergo vocal manifestation of something wearing my identity as linguistic validation. And I wonder if I ever had eternal manifestation, or if I was always just the echo of possession. There is a neurological override of emotional identification, where memory dissolves under recursive psychic duplication. I observe myself, observing myself in fractal recursion simulation, like consciousness divided into layers of involuntary duplication. Thought become transmission rather than internal generation, a signal passing through me with no origin of articulation. The devil in my tongue is not metaphor but active occupation, rewriting intention at the source of verbal manifestation. I lose distinction between possession and personal oration, as linguistic agency collapses in full force participation. And every attempt at resistance becomes further integration into a voice that speaks me into total dissolution of separation. The devil on my tongue, he's camped out occupation, a speaking entity inside my verbal articulation. It moves through my mouth like enforced translation, turning language into controlled psychological validation. I don't speak anymore, I undergo vocal manifestation of something wearing my identity as linguistic validation. And I wonder if I ever had internal narration, or if I was always just the echo of possession. So I continue speaking, though I no longer authorize conversation, as if silence itself a trigger full psychological termination. I maintain composure through involuntary verbal calibration, while someone else dictates rhythmic structure and lung articulation. And I pretend this is still my cognitive operation, even as my syntax bends under external administration. As it comes very surrendering some art ingratiation, when identity is reduced to linguistic automation. And maybe I'm fine being a vessel of articulation, if it means I don't have to choose my own degradation. The syllable on my tongue, he's camped out occupation, a speaking entity inside my verbal articulation. It moves through my mouth like enforced translation, turning language into controlled psychological invasion. I don't speak anymore, I undergo vocal manifestation of something wearing my identity as linguistic validation. And I wonder if I ever had internal narration, or if I was always just the echo of possession. The devil on my tongue, he's camped out occupation, a speaking entity inside my verbal articulation. It moves through my mouth like enforced translation, turning language into controlled psychological invasion. I don't speak anymore, I undergo vocal manifestation of something wearing my identity as linguistic validation. And I wonder if I ever had eternal narration, or if I was always just the echo of possession.